Hey guys, welcome to Tokyo, Japan, to the Tokyo Mobility Show. In today's episode, podcast/video is very special because we're going to be showing you the latest and greatest vehicles here in the Toyota/Century/Lexus booth, starting with this, Tommy. What is this?
Well, this is a car I was so critical about when I saw the images, and now that I've kind of had to poke and prod around it, I'm really excited. So what we're looking at here is a Toyota Land Cruiser, and this is a model called the Land Cruiser FJ. And Dad, if someone is listening to this podcast and not watching it on YouTube, describe the look of this little Land Cruiser.
You know, it looks like, if you know the Suzuki Jimny, it looks like a Suzuki Jimny that went to the gym and bulked up.
Or a Renegade, like a Jeep Renegade that
went to the gym and bulked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some kind of funky Lego-like proportions, but when you see it in person, there's a lot to really like here. There's a lot of great hardware, I think, on this Land Cruiser that I would love if it came to the US, but Dad, this thing is not slated to come to America, right?
You know, I'm hoping it does come to America. Toyota has not said so, but I fear you might be right. This may be something that unfortunately will not see our North American shores, but it should, because it is the right size, I believe the right cost, and the right build for America, Canada, hell, all of North America. Now let's start with this one, the most off-roady one, because this, unlike many other cars here at the Tokyo Auto Show, Mobility Show, is not a concept. They're actually building this, so they're going to sell it.
Yeah.
And what impresses me from the get-go is, look, we've got a snorkel.
Yeah, exactly right. This is kind of a pint-sized off-roader, so it's quite a bit smaller than the 250 series Land Cruiser that we get in the US. Our buddy James actually went ahead and did a bunch of crunching of the numbers for us. It's pretty much the same size as an FJ Cruiser, but it's got 4 real doors, and it's quite narrow in person. Now, from the sleuthing I've done, which is a little tricky because it's all in Japanese and I have to translate. This is based on the IMV architecture, which is the underpinning of like the Toyota Hilux, the Toyota Fortuner, I think, if I remember correctly. So it's a longitudinal body-on-frame architecture with a solid rear axle.
None of which we get.
No, we don't get like the Hilux, that's right. But let's kind of keep going with the tour. Now, the most controversial thing that a lot of comments were made on our offer video is this front bumper. This is a lot of plastic.
Well, it's a lot of plastic, but let me show you something. Yesterday, when we did our first video on this, they had that one, which has, I can show them the headlights. So the blue one has, well, there's a guy there right now, of course. You're looking at kind of square headlights, basically.
Yep.
A U-shaped turn sideways. But this one, just like the Land Cruiser that we get, has also the round lights, which are more iconic, let's face it, for a Land Cruiser.
So you can spec it, like you said, Dad, both ways, with square or round. This is the way to get it, though. The round headlights, I think, kind of help with some of the cartoony proportions, and especially with this bumper, which is also different. Now, it's
a big underbite.
This is a big old chin right here, folks. It's a massive plastic bumper that leads right into these big kind of cladded arches that make their way down the side of the vehicle. But like I said, folks, in pictures it looks kind of goofy. In person, I think it actually looks pretty rad.
Yeah, it looks much better in person. I also like the fact that this one has a little bit beefier tire on it. So this is the Open Country from Toyo, of course.
Let's see the sizing on this. I believe it's a 265/60 R18. Oh no, that's on the street going one. This is a 265/65 R17. So this is like a 31-ish inch tall tire, if my numbers are correct.
It's a lot more beefy.
And do you see this too?
What?
It's a 6-lug.
Wow, yeah,
that's
interesting.
pretty cool.
6-lug, and then to the left of it, you've got an ARB step/rock rail, actually.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
very cool.
This has some real off-road cred. On top is the ARB roof rack. So Toyota has, certainly thought about taking this off-road. And if we go around the back, I actually think the back looks better than the front.
Yeah, so it's got kind of this very futuristic black panel. So it's a perfectly vertical fall off with this black panel / glass portion that hides some of the proportions.
And unlike the blue one, this is actually, I don't think, a spare tire. I think that's a full-size spare.
Yeah, the blue one I think had a temp spare maybe.
Yeah, we'll go down there and show them the interior in a second.
And then this also has this kind of ruggedized finish on the bumper.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then this is the most futuristic angle, this kind of rear 3/4. It's got a little bit of a boat tail taper along the side here, and then same thing on the roof. So it's very flat, and then right at the back, it kind of falls off a little bit. Full LED tail lights.
The kind of binnacles that are stuck on. I kind of like it. The problem that we have in America right now is that if you go in the Toyota lineup, at least underneath the 4Runner, you get to the RAV4. And the RAV4 Woodland is basically a soft roader, and this could live in that space as a real off-roader, right? No one's going to take the Woodland to Moab and do Pins and Things of Hell's Revenge. You would just tear it apart, but this could do it.
Yeah.
Because it's got a locker.
Yeah, right. And it's got a real
Body and frame.
It's got a real low range as well. And a couple of the design cues, which are very reminiscent of other Land Cruisers that we see for sale in other markets, is, for example, this window line with the little kick up here at the rear end. And I like this deep pillar, how it's all chunky and squared off. So I was really critical about this car when I first saw it.
And if you guys are listening to this as a podcast, the color is pretty cool. It's kind of a metallic green, almost zinky color.
Yeah, it's something I haven't really seen before. Now, when we look at the actual platform, this is, as you mentioned, Ed, body on frame. Poke the camera underneath there. Ooh, this has got a much beefier skid plate by ARB. So they've done a lot of little ARB goodies on this. Recovery points, independent front suspension, and then it does have a solid rear out back. So there is some actual off-road tech. So the problem that I have with like the Renegade is it looks pretty chunky and trail ready, but the Renegade is kind of a Fiat with some cladding on it, where this is actually a Hilux underneath that has got some real capability.
Well, I was looking over there and I was going to go jump in the interior while there's somebody not sitting in it and show them the inside of it, because this blue one is actually open. This green one is not open, but here we have one that we can jump into and show what it looks like inside.
Yeah, here we can try to make our way in there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So maybe, I think we can go. Oh, he's cleaning off the door handle here. So let's see if we can go inside and show them the interior. There you go, Tommy.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, so let's take a peek in here. Now, there's a lot of things that are going to be familiar to you if you're a Toyota fan. So stuff like the infotainment screen. It's pretty much the same as you're going to find in a 4Runner or a Tacoma. Same thing with the shifter. Same thing with the overall dash and vent design, right? It's all very familiar to those who are fans of current Toyota products. But there are a couple of things in here which are very unique. For example, it does have your four-wheel drive selector with a low range and a locking rear differential. That is super cool. And it's not a full-time four-wheel drive. It is a part-time four-wheel drive. Huge amounts of headroom in this little box. Legroom is okay. The one thing I will say is it's very narrow in here. So there's not a lot of shoulder room to work with inside this baby Land Cruiser. So it's quite a long, it's very tall, but it's not super wide, which kind of makes sense for Japanese streets, right? You don't want these super wide machines. And then can you see that thing one more time, Dad?
Yeah.
Very squared off steering wheel, right, with all your safety gear. It does have adaptive cruise control, lane centering, all that's going to be familiar. And then this is pretty luxurious. Heated windshield, I think that's what that is, or heated windshield wipers, heated seats, dual zone automatic climate control. So there's still quite a few luxury features in here. It's not as basic and stripped down as I think a lot of us were expecting.
Yeah, you want to sit in the back while we got it to show how much room there is back here, because it is pretty roomy actually.
Forgot to thank you. Yeah, let's check out the back here.
Yeah, have a seat in the back. Show them how big it is.
Hey, it's Omar from Omar Drive. Sorry, dude.
Hey Omar, how are you doing, dude?
So good legroom over here, really good headroom. Like I said, the only thing that's a little limiting is just how narrow it is. And it is a 5-seater, but this middle seat person is going to be incredibly uncomfortable. So this is kind of like 20% smaller back here than I'd say a 4Runner.
I like the fact that there are grab handles on all 4 seats. And back here, this guy's about to open it, so let's show him the inside. So it's actually pretty roomy in the way back here, Tommy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got, enough room for a decent set of luggage. If you wanted to put a bike in there, you could probably take it apart, but you could certainly do it. The seats fold. It's a good room, and you can see the difference between the off-roady one. Here, it's just plastic on the top of the bumper.
Yeah, normal black plastic. You can see it does have some recline to those seats. You can see it's pretty much a 50-50 split with that weird little awkward center seat. This one doesn't have a sunroof in it, but yeah, what I like about this trunk area is it's perfectly square. It's kind of like a box, right? There's no curves or weird.
Yeah, if you're listening to this as a podcast, think of it as a box with rounded off corners. It's true.
Sorry, Omar. And then looking underneath, there's your quick look at the solid rear axle, right? You can see your dampers coming through there. It's a multi-link rear suspension. So I think I was expecting this to be a lot more basic and stripped down. In a lot of markets, Toyota does sell like a sub $20,000 truck, which is incredibly no nonsense, built for work. This does feel still like a fairly premium item, especially with this one that has the soft tech seats, the big screens, the heated seats.
Now, let's finish up by talking what's under the hood. Maybe we can go back up here because we're going to hit the Corolla next.
Yeah.
So let's talk about under the hood. Under the hood, as you would expect, it's a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, but it's not the 2.4 turbo that we get in the US. This is a naturally aspirated 2.7, which I think is related to the old 2.7 we got in the 3rd gen Tacoma, and has been for sale for about 400 years. I think the specs on it are 160, 180 horsepower, somewhere in that territory. Conventional automatic transmission, no diesel, and most interestingly, no hybrid.
I would say, and I hate to say this because I don't want to throw cold water on you, Tommy, but wherever you can get the Hilux, you can probably get this.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good bet. So far, I believe it's only Japan market, but that's definitely going to expand if I had to use my crystal ball.
All right, well, let's go over here to the next most interesting vehicle here, at least at the Toyota stand, and that is the concept for the Toyota Corolla. And this looks nothing like a Corolla, Tommy. It barely looks like a Lexus, let alone a Corolla.
Yeah, so look, Corollas are the best-selling car in the world.
Let's go around
right?
and we'll get a, and this has a lot of people around it, of course, because
It's a Corolla.
well, the Corolla has sold more vehicles than, like you said, any other brand. People think it's the Volkswagen Beetle, but it's really the Corolla, and it's been around the longest. And what we've seen here, at least in Toyota, is kind of wider, swoopier, more interesting. And then the powertrain here is anything you want it to be.
Yeah, so Toyota's saying that they're going to put everything. So we're talking Lexus hybrid, electric hybrid,
plug-in
right?
hybrid.
But you're right,
or
Dad. I mean,
gas.
Toyotas have been known for a lot of things over the years. Being exciting to look at is not one of them. This is definitely exciting to look at, though. It's low, it's wide, it's very sporty.
Can I show you the most interesting thing? If you look at the interior, you'll notice that the driver's seat and the passenger seat are different. I've never seen that before. And the idea there is the driver needs more lateral support because he's driving or she's driving, whereas the passenger needs more comfort and luxury. And so they've designed 2 different seats for both the driver and the passenger, which is unusual and interesting. And the gear selector is way cool. Maybe you could show them that if this
For sure.
gentleman pops out of there. Oh, look, he's going to be accommodating. He's not.
Yeah,
He'll stay
so the gear selector, here I got a good zoom there.
Good.
That is a little glass version of the car itself. Now this is a very open concept floor plan. They would say if this was a house, right? But you kind of get a good sense of what that looks like. So first of all, that steering wheel, not a yoke.
Woohoo!
And it's got this little like gauge cluster from a fighter jet that faces the driver. And then it's got a very open, airy dash design with no central screen, but a screen over here on the passenger side, a totally flat floor. You get this kind of center column that juts out from the floor where you find your gear selector. There's your center console. And then my dad was talking about those 2 different seat designs, both gray and white. So a couple different seat textures and materials there.
Yeah, and the other thing that's interesting about it, Tommy, is also the back seat, which, you know, they've paid a lot of attention to the use of materials, the use of interesting colors. There's just a lot of cool stuff. And I got to tell you, my favorite part is actually the back end with this little ducktail spoiler and this wraparound rear taillight. You know, taillights that have gone across the entire back of cars have become a thing. This one keeps going to the side of the car.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of LFA in it too, but I love this kind of haunch that makes a very aggressive angle as it transitions from side to rear profile.
And this cute little ducktail. How cool is that, huh?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. So lots of very cool textures and designs that we just have not seen on Corollas in the past. I mean, this looks like it could be a Lexus. It looks like it could be a sports car. It does not look like it should be an affordable Corolla.
You know what I've got in my hand right now?
What you got there?
I got let me fix that for you. I got a big bucket of cold water
Why?
because you know where this is going to end up?
Where?
In China.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not, you know, our Corolla is so far from this.
Yeah, but every Corolla is so far from this.
I don't know what the Chinese Corolla looks like.
Not like this.
Okay.
No Corolla. No Corolla's 21-inch wheels to start with, Dan.
Let me fix your mic here. It's just problematic. All right.
I
there
think
you
it'll
go.
be okay.
Now we're good. All right. It's on your lanyard, so be careful. Let's head over to the next interesting thing, and this is, imagine a truck with only bed.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like something you would see at a factory. This is it's called the Toyota IMV concept, and it's built for developing countries like Africa, the IMV Origin. And what this is essentially a flat deck with wheels and a steering wheel. very, very interesting.
So if you watch Grand Tour, there was an episode where they went to, I think, Mongolia, and they helicoptered a big box down for them, and they had to build their own little car.
Yeah.
This is kind of what that is if it were not a car but a truck. So what we have is, like you say, all bed, and then I think you could put the steering wheel on either side, it looks like, so you could put it on the left or on the right. There's a one driver specification. It's electric, of course, and it's front wheel drive, but the tires are very off-roady.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a cool idea, right? They say it's 70% finished, and like you said, you could put a cab on here, you could put a bed on here if you wanted to carry flowers, you could build a little camper back here, whatever you wanted, whatever your use case. And then throughout the machine, we're gonna see rails down the side to pick it up, to tie things down with. It's got rock rails, it's got some real ground clearance to tackle rough roads. It's a very cool idea.
Yeah, so if you're, let's say, delivering
Medical
coffee
supplies,
beans or medical supplies,
food,
or
whatever, in the most remote parts of the world.
then this would be something that you would purchase. It would come in a big old crate, and then you would build it to your specifications, like the last 70%. Now, I was talking to somebody, they said the Model T came that way too, came in a crate at some point, and then you use the parts of the crate to actually finish the Model T back in the day. I don't know if that's true. Somebody was telling that to me. Let me know. Feel free to fact check me. I did not fact check that.
But yeah, I really like this concept. I mean, obviously, it's something we're probably unlikely to see in the United States, but for markets around the globe that need really, really cheap, really, really durable, no-nonsense transport that's basically four wheels and most of a seat, this is what that's for.
Yeah, I would say that this is kind of the next iteration of the K-truck, right? Like the Honda Acti from back in the day, and this is the most practical version of that. Like I said, if you wanted to create a vehicle that is all platform or all bed, then this is it. Do you like the color combination? Orange again. Orange is hot. We'll see more orange as we just walk around.
Yeah, I mean, I think orange is kind of the new black literally right now. We're seeing iPhones come in orange, and certainly Toyota is bringing a lot of orange to the table.
Hey, let's walk over here to Daihatsu because we haven't really done much with Daihatsu, but they do have some interesting vehicles. And of course, Daihatsu is also, I think, either partially or totally owned by Toyota.
Yep.
What do you think of this little delivery vehicle?
So Toyota's actually breaking up into a number of different brands, or
Yeah.
I should say broken up. You've got Daihatsu at the bottom. You've got Toyota, which is their mainstream brand. You've got Lexus, which is their premium brand. GR now is its own sport brand. And then we've got Century, which we'll talk about in a second.
Is this the midget? Is that what we're
Yeah, I
looking
think
at?
this is the original midget.
It looks almost like the what's the Italian delivery little three-wheeler?
The Ape.
Ape. So it
Yeah.
looks like the Japanese version of the ape,
So
which is Ape in Italian.
here in Japan,
Yeah.
there's a classification of vehicle called the K-car, which is an ultra lightweight, ultra small, ultra low powered vehicle, which is low taxes. You don't need to prove you have a parking space for it. It's much easier to maneuver, and that's kind of what Daihatsu specializes in. So if we come on over here to this gray car, this is a K-car. So it's very small, it's very lightweight, but it's also incredibly well engineered. You want to show the doors on these cars?
Yeah, they're sliding, of course.
So stand next to it. Let's show them how tiny, tiny, tiny this thing is.
Look how tiny this is. But if I get into it, Tommy, look how much room I have. It's just, it's amazing use of room. Look at this. I have tons of headroom. I have tons of knee room. I have more room in here than I do in most second rows of most American cars.
Yeah, because they're absolutely brilliant pieces of packaging. Now these are limited to 660 cc, if I remember correctly. So this is likely a 2 or 3 cylinder, maybe a turbo. But they're ultra lightweight, ultra practical. This has got a front row bench in it. It's got a screen, like it still has some modern amenities, but it's very cool on how it works. And then coming around to the back of this thing, there you can see it's called the Daihatsu Move. This is how little I know about the Move. I gotta look at the badge. But these cars, not sold in the US, unlikely to ever be sold. But what's cool about K-cars is they're not only little practical boxes. Over here are the sports car versions.
Yeah, the thing about K-cars is in Tokyo, if you want to buy a car, you have to have a parking space for it unless you get a K-car, in which case you don't. And this is the Daihatsu K-Open.
A Copen.
I know, but look, it's
But
K-Open.
I think that's a play on words. K-car
Copen, yeah.
Open. So this is a...
I think this is actually the newest version of it. As you know, when we were here about a year ago, no, in the spring, right? Or was it the one we actually got to drive an older version of this?
Yeah.
But this is the newest version. It's pretty darn cool, Tommy.
I think this is the old one we actually drove right here. This is the exact car.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this one. It's missing an engine. I wonder if this is like an electric. Oh no, it has an engine. Oh my God, it's tiny.
It's way down there.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, look how low and kind of sucked down that little engine.
This is the original one, and there's a new variant of it.
Yeah, exactly. So this has been for sale for a while. That's the new version. But they also do other little kind of fun concepts here at the Daihatsu stand. Like, look at this. We got this little itty bitty van. So Daihatsu is just their fun, quirky, affordable brand here in Japan. They will never, actually, they tried selling them in America, do you remember?
Yeah, do you think we should go up there and give them a better look? Are you worried about it? They'll be fine.
I don't think people care that much about the Copen, Dad.
All right, well, we'll keep going. There's a lot more. Shall we hit Lexus?
Yeah.
All right, Lexus has a lot to show. Actually, see this up here? So Lexus has a strategy of being now a complete lifestyle brand, including aircraft, boats, houses, and of course cars. So I actually did a video on this. The Joby, they partnered with a company called Joby, which builds these, they can see Joby, which builds these drone-like, what would you call this?
It's like a drone helicopter thing.
Yeah, where you can lift straight up and then you go vertical takeoff vehicles. But anyway, this is probably more interesting to a lot of people. Now we're looking at what is the future LFA, Tommy.
Allegedly,
potentially.
So this is something called the Lexus Sports Concept. And what we're looking at here is a low slung wide two-door front engined sports car that does have very LFA-like proportions with a little bit of Maserati sprinkled in there. So this is a concept that actually debuted back in Monterey, but this is a more finished variant of what you saw back in California.
Yeah, so they actually have the interior now, and once again, you'll note in the interior, the driver and the passenger get very different interiors.
This is a big thing we're seeing. It's a big trend at Tokyo here, are mismatched driver and passenger seats. So there you can see the driver's white, the passenger is kind of this black material. And sometimes the designs are different as well. Now, when you saw the stat, it didn't have an interior in it, and now it does. And this is easily, for me, the highlight of the car.
And what makes it interesting, of course, and what makes me think this is the next LFA is that we're here in Japan where people drive on the right, but look at what side the steering yoke is on.
Yeah, left. But it looks like a pretty complete interior. The coolest part is actually these vents in the door, the speaker grills mesh into the speaker grills on the dash. They kind of do this cool little mesh thing when they close. But this is a very, very attractive car.
Show them the pedals, they're beautiful.
Yep, I love that white finish.
Look at the pedals, wow. That's interestingly only two, not a manual.
Not a stick. But you can see like good use of interior lighting, very organic forms and shape inside. And as we come around to the back, they made a big deal in the design presentation about the functional aero. So all of these little slits serve to keep the car on the ground, to keep things attached where they need to be.
You like the little drone that's sitting up there above that little...
No, this is really dumb. So a lot of these Lexus concepts have a drone that deploys out the back of the car, so it'll follow you and you can film the outside perspective.
And when you're on the track, not on the road. So you can see yourself driving on the track.
But some of these we see do have them for the road.
I don't know.
Why would you need that?
Because it's AI and drone everything nowadays. I do love this car, Tommy. And if this is the next and future LFA, I think that they're going to do so well with it. Now, I did see this originally in its Toyota form because there was a Toyota version at Goodwood, and then it came back again with nothing. They just kind of unveiled it at Pebble Beach, and now here we have an interior, and I think this will go into production. And yeah, it's pretty damn gorgeous, except for the stupid yoke and the weird seating. I would feel weird if my seat were different from my passengers.
Then you can buy a car like that now.
You can? What's that?
Can you name it? Think about it. There's one car for sale where you can get different color front and back seats.
Don't know, what is it?
The Lucid Air.
Oh.
Yeah, you can get black and white.
But this isn't just colors, this is like shapes.
But I think this one is colors. Yeah, the Corolla was different shapes. Now, a couple of cool design cues we're seeing across a lot of these modern Lexuses. This very square light signature in the back. It's not just a light bar, it extends on these blades on either side of the car. And then just like the original LFA that had those triple exhaust pipes in the diffuser, a lot of these Lexus concepts now have a center mounted stoplight that's also kind of that triangular shape. It's very, very funky looking. There is one thing I hate about these cars.
What's that?
Most of the new concepts we're seeing, and even some of the production cars.
Here comes the wing. Ooh.
That's cool. Even some of the production cars we're seeing don't have a rear window.
Now
So
here's-
Polestar started this with the 4.
Yeah.
Getting rid of rear windows, I hate that.
I'm with you on that, and we'll see more of that now. There's something cool, and this probably will not make it into production. So you've got this mirror, the outside rearview mirror, right?
Yep.
And underneath it is like a little L-shaped bracket. That is actually a functional aero piece of design that routes air over it and into the little hole behind that little window and then out the back here.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to make production. I
So-
just don't see that.
We'll learn more about the production version of this car December of this year. I think December 5th is when we're supposed to get all the info. But I just love this design. I love the haunches, the hips. It's just a gorgeous car.
Yeah, and I think that Akio Toyota, who of course is the head of the board here, has said no more boring cars, and this certainly isn't boring, Tommy.
Well, the car behind us
Is even less boring.
even less boring. Now, this is apparently Akio's vision of modern luxury. It's
So-
a 6-wheel minivan.
So this is called the Lexus LS, which used to stand for what, Tommy?
Luxury sedan.
And I think the luxury sedan, let's just say the sedan is dead, and so now it's been replaced here in Japan by the van. And when you think about what luxury means here, being in your own space, ensconced in luxury and serenity, and having a lot of space, which is also luxury here in Japan because it's such a very crowded city, then space is a premium. So instead of doing a luxury sedan, why not do a luxury van? And this certainly expresses that. The reason it has these 2 little back wheels instead of big 4 wheels, it's got 4 small ones and 2 big ones, is because the small ones open up more space in the back for more space for the occupants.
So LS is now standing for luxury space instead of luxury sedan. So they're re-envisioning what their flagship can be. And it's interesting, when we think minivans in the US, we think of Cheerios and kids and temper tantrums. But here in Asia, these are incredibly popular as these very high-end cars, is the only way I can describe it. So they have a car here called the Toyota Alphard, which we've actually been driven in a bunch. It's got these reclining second row seats that slide and massage and heat and cool you. Lexus actually builds currently in Japan a car called the LM that stands for Luxury Mover. That's got these incredible 50-inch cinema displays in them, crazy fold flat seats. And then this is now the new expression of what they can do with this van shape. But the question is, Dad, I personally think there's a chance we're going to see the Lexus LM luxury minivan in America.
This is Akio passion project.
Right, but do you think a luxury van would work in the States? Because they've blown up in China, they've blown up in Japan. Because they're not necessarily built for kids, right?
It's not. Van has always been equated with, kids and families, and not being kind. I mean, it's been equated with being demasculated. What's the word I'm looking for?
Emasculating?
Emasculated, yeah. That's what it's been equated to, and it's hard to take that narrative and change it into something that's luxurious and comfortable and prestigious. By the way, what do you think of the spindle grille that's now done in light form instead of in grille form?
Pretty interesting. Yeah, so they got rid of the grille, but they still have the spindle design that they've done with this LED panel in the front.
This is just a huge vehicle, Tommy.
Well,
I don't know how this is even. This is like the front end of a locomotive. It's that big.
You say that. I'm not sure it's actually that big, because everything here in Japan looks huge
okay,
compared to the.
I mean, the reason I say it's big because you can see how much smaller like this next car that we're going to look at is because of how much these are the same 3-size little rotary rotisseries that the cars are sitting on, and this one hangs over both ends much more. You want to show them the inside? Look how luxurious that is. The seats rotate.
They kind of look like an Ames chair, so you can see that this design is very driven by this bamboo slit motif. You see it across the side of the interior, you see it in the windows, but it's very airy, open, and you can see because it doesn't have conventional 4 wheels, it's got the 4 little rear wheels, the interior volume is positively enormous, but that second row of seats actually rotates back, so you can kind of create a conversation lounge with people in the third row.
You know where I saw that first?
Where?
EV9.
EV9?
Is it Ioniq 9? What's the minivan?
What's Carnival?
No, not the minivan. The 3-row electric Hyundai or Kia.
EV9 or Ioniq 9, but I don't think they rotate.
They did in the concept.
Oh, in the concept.
That's where I saw it first.
Okay,
It was the EV9.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I saw it at the LA Auto Show. Never came into the market.
You know,
so a
we
lot of
didn't-
this stuff will never happen.
But this did happen in the U.S.
We had rotating seats?
Yeah.
Which van?
In the Caravan.
Really?
The Town and Country, yeah. If you didn't get stow and go, you could get it with rotating seats.
I mean, these are really flights of fancy in a lot of ways as concepts. So I feel like I'm just drenching you in cold water, but I've been doing this long enough to know that, once again, a yoke, of course,
Yep.
that this is never going to see production.
Not with that attitude.
No, not with that attitude.
It might.
It will not.
Maybe not in the U.S., but we might. They have some crazy cars here in Japan and in China, Dad.
You want to show them the back end? It's like a chest of drawers back here.
Yeah, so it's got this really funky cabinet that kind of extends out, and then that folds up to close up the rear end. But I love, actually, one of the cool things Lexus is doing here is they're bringing a lot of wood, a lot of bamboos into the world. So we can see that bamboo along the panels in the van, by the windows. We can see it on the trunk. I think the bamboo
Very
looks
Asian, taste in the way that the interiors are designed. So a lot of the natural materials that are found in Japan also make their way into the automotive world, which makes sense, right?
So should we go check out the one car I think might actually happen
Yeah,
for
this
Americans?
one might be. Yeah.
Let's kind of come on over to the Lexus LC Coupe, or LS Coupe, excuse me.
Yeah,
So
the one thing I would tell you, Tommy, is if you're listening to this as a podcast and you want to see this, head on over to YouTube and just type in alltfl.com or go to TFL Talk on YouTube.
right, yeah, good point.
And you can actually see these cars if you really want to see them, because it's hard to describe because they are so different in a lot of ways.
Now this one actually looks a lot like the current Lexus electric crossover. It's got a little bit of BZ in it.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at here is, they call it a coupe. It's definitely not a coupe. It's very much a sleek, kind of low to the ground crossover. This is called the LS Coupe concept by Lexus. And this was designed by the CalT team, which is the Toyota Lexus California design team. And I think this is the one that's probably the most likely to actually see reality.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that, of course, became popular here, because Japan has a much more aging population than we do, are basically tall cars, right? So they're not quite traditional American SUVs or crossovers, and they're not really cars in terms of the way that you think of a car. But imagine like a Toyota Crown, where it's a tall Crown. It's kind of this hybrid between car and crossover, and this very much represents that. So if you're older and you have a hard time getting in and out of the car, and this already makes it sound lame, I get that, but that is the thinking. It's much easier for entry and exit.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably a pretty good description. It's very sleek though, right? And that spindle grille has been replaced on a lot of these cars by these spindle light patterns. So on either side of the car, it makes that little V where the string would go if you were operating a spindle. And then I really do like this new Lexus badge that they're bringing out on everything, which is just the word Lexus spelled out. It is illuminated on the front end of
And
this.
you'll note that there's no holes in this front grille, so it's probably all electric.
Yeah, they haven't talked at all about powertrains here.
Yeah, it's now electrified. Anything is a dirty word, of course, so especially in America, so they're not talking about it. But you've got these doors that, like double clamshells, right, that open up in both directions, and then once again, use of really interesting materials. The cool thing about this one is to make it even easier to get in and out of. You'll note that the right side bolster on the passenger, the one near the door, actually retracts into the seat so that you can get your butt in there, and then it comes back up.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
I was talking to everybody on Carish, why don't we have more cars with wooden floors?
There you go.
Because carpets get dirty. Look at that. They listen to me.
Well, it's only wood in the back. Look in the front.
Yeah, well, they haven't quite got the whole thing done.
I'm still tired of yokes and no door handles.
What do you mean you're tired of no door handles?
I'm just tired of it. And the other cool thing about this car are the wheels. They actually light up.
Yeah, did you see what's cool about them though?
That they light up.
No, there's another thing that's cool. It's actually a carbon fiber skeleton within, there you go, you can see it on the camera, within like an aero blade cover. So when you drive along under certain light, you can see the skeleton, the spider of the carbon fiber spin around, and then you're right about the built-in lights. And then once
that's
again,
what happens when you curve that.
oh God. would be horrible. And then once again, mismatching driver and passenger seats, a really big thing that Lexus and Toyota are doing.
And of course, if you look in the back, you can see speakers in the back headrest. That's also becoming big now.
So this is another concept. I really like the look of this. I think Ian and his design team at Calty did a great job. This is another car that has this kind of funky drawer system. So it doesn't have a conventional hatch. Instead, the whole butt of the car pulls out a little bit like the Lucid Air, actually, and extends outward, and then that's where your stuff goes.
Yeah, talk about a high liftover, though.
Yeah, and then I don't think you're going to be able to see it.
Another drone stuck in the
Another drone. Yeah. So there's actually a little landing strip there inside the rear glass for the drone to land. But you can see there's that little triangular light in the back, similar to the LFA exhaust, right? They're continuing that. As a whole, I think they knocked this design out of the park, and it's the only one that seems like it might make it into reality.
I mean, if this were a military car, that drone would be cool, right? Because you can use it to situational awareness.
Exactly, yeah, exactly right. But I'm not sure taking the kids to school, the drone's going to be a realistically useful item.
All right, let's look at the goofiest thing here. I'm sorry, I hate this thing.
Goofiest?
I hate this thing, Tommy.
This is also designed by Calty.
I hate this. Really, I hate this.
So what this is a personal mobility pod.
Yeah, whenever you use the word mobility, I'm tapping out immediately.
So
mobility to me just sounds like one of those Woody Allen pods from Sleeper. That's an old reference to a movie, but it takes all the stuff I love about a car. The fact that you can drive it, this is autonomous. The fact that you can use it as a performance vehicle, this gets you around town. The fact that, it's beautiful, this is, I don't know what the hell this is. I really don't like it.
It is cool looking.
No, it's not. It looks like a suitcase.
I'm also with you, I don't love
I also hate three wheels. There's no pothole you'll ever miss.
But this is funky. And look at the rear taillights. Imagine you're going down the road and that's what you see in front of you. It's like something out of Tron. That'd be awesome.
First of all, you can't see out the sides, so you'd be terrified.
Well, it's autonomous.
Well, you can't see out the. You still
the computer's going to see out the side.
No, you want to see what's going.
You don't need to see the accident. If the accident happens.
I'm car spotting. I'm going through Tokyo. I'm looking at all the crazy cool cars here, and you can't see out the side of this thing.
So it was interesting actually talking to Ian.
Yeah.
He
loves it.
The whole purpose of this.
Head gap, Kelty.
Yeah. The whole purpose of this was to design a not car. So he told his team to design something that doesn't look like a car, right? He wanted them to throw away the rule book, and this does.
The only thing it's missing that I hate is a yoke.
It doesn't need a yoke because it's autonomous. You know this thing runs and drives?
Does it?
Yeah, and actually that has
good.
It's got rear wheel steering. I also don't love it, but I do appreciate they're trying something totally new.
Imagine taking one of those, pieces of luggage that you take on the plane and put in the overhead compartment. A rollerboard.
It's a carry-on.
A rollerboard and putting a little vase in it and some funky lights and some bamboo. That's what you got here. And then stepping 2 suitcases on the side and hiding the wheels.
That thing is funky. Well, let's check out the last thing that Lexus has been up to.
Yeah, a catamaran.
They're also building boats now, apparently, or designing them. So this is a Lexus-designed catamaran. Clearly, it's just a concept because it's a little too small to really get comfortable on. But it is a beautiful kind of work of art. I don't know if Lexus should be designing boats, but they've designed a cool one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yachts are a thing.
Imagine if this is what I want to do with this. Maybe they'll give it to me and I can make it remote control, because that would be super cool. Look at that. Imagine driving that around our pond at the ranch.
Yeah, the model, not the real thing.
The model, yeah. That'd be really cool. But it is gorgeous. So Lexus has really, they've taken some risks here. And look, I know you don't like the little suitcase pod car, but this is what the Japan Mobility Show is all about. It's all about like super futuristic, forward thinking. This is not a boring show. This is about like pushing the bounds of what it means to be a car.
And I'm going to be using that bucket again. This is why auto shows have died, because no one wants to go see little pod things. People want to see cool ass cars. And out of all the stuff that we've shown you guys so far, the only one that is a real car is the Land Cruiser FJ. Everything else is just pure, fantasy. Except for this right here, this 1967 Crown. That's a real car, Tommy.
Century,
sorry.
So this is something really, really crazy that Toyota's doing. What the Toyota Century is a very high-end, prestigious model that has, for a long time, been sold only in Japan. So this is a ultimate chauffeured vehicle.
Kind of looks like somebody shrunk one of those old New Yorkers.
Yeah,
Chrysler New Yorkers.
It's for the heads of companies, right? If you are the head of Canon, in the 1980s. You were driven around
This
in
was
a
the
Century.
60s.
Yeah, but they built like 3 generations of these. They
Yeah.
all look exactly the same. They're all very understated. They're all very quiet luxury, and they're really expensive. They don't build many of them. But Toyota now is going to keep building the Century, not as a Toyota Century, but as its own brand. So think of like Hyundai used to build the Genesis,
Yep.
and now Genesis is its own thing. Toyota used to build a Century. The Century is its own thing, but it's moving way up market.
Yeah, and GR is its own thing now.
Yeah.
And this is important because in a second we'll show you the concept, which I think is coming to America and will be sold as a Lexus. Think of the Cadillac Celestiq.
It won't be sold as a Lexus.
It'll be sold as a Century in dealerships that are branded Lexus. Think of the Cadillac Celestiq. What do you think of the logo there? It looks like a farting chicken.
Yeah, you keep
What?
saying that. I don't think they love that you call their Phoenix a flatulent chicken. But yeah,
Am I wrong? No.
a little. It doesn't look like it's a Phoenix. So the Century currently sold in Japan. What we're looking at here is a Century SUV.
Yes.
Right? It looks very much like a Cullinan.
This is a very prestigious car here. So this competes with, like you said, the Cullinan, the Bentayga, if you're in Bentley world, right? Now they're going after like British luxury.
And these are really, really expensive. So this car starts
At 200
$200,000
here in Japan.
Realistically, though, you're going to be looking at probably 250, 300K.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna look at show them the interior. I mean, it's very, very expensive.
Well, it's very bespoke is what it is. So
Yeah.
if you're buying a Century, you can really spec it out exactly how you want it. This one is very pimp. Like, you don't see a lot of pimped out Centuries. This has got this kind of matte gray finish with an orange interior. This is very Bentayga. But the idea...
Cullinan.
Or Cullinan, yeah. The idea is, right, this is for if you have made it in Japan and you want to maybe stick within your Japanese circle of trust, you buy a Century and not a Bentley, and it's kind of a cool little subtle thing. But Toyota's saying, no, we're done with subtle. We're bringing Century around the world.
Well, here's this one looks a little bit like a Rolls Royce, of course.
Yeah, so this is
sedan.
the sedan, right? This is the latest generation of Century sedan.
Now let's be clear; these are cars you are driven in. here in
Typically,
Japan.
yeah.
You don't drive them.
But this is a GR Century.
Yeah, I saw.
Right.
What does that mean? You can take it around the racetrack?
Well, I don't know about that. Now these are twin turbo V6 powered, but they're much bigger than anything Lexus builds. I don't even think they're on the same exact platform. That one's a plug-in hybrid. This one's a standard twin turbo V6. But you know what this looks like? It looks like a Rolls-Royce Ghost. It looks
Exactly.
like a Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's very old world money.
Yes. And now, the one that might be coming to a Lexus dealer near you, here is the Century, what would you call this? Is it a
Concept.
coupe? Is it a...
Oh, well, it's kind of a, you know what this is? This is the return of the personal luxury coupe. So back in the 1950s and 1960s, Cadillac, Lincoln, Imperial, right, they all built these huge coupes that were a show of status.
Yes.
And those kind of died with the Eldorado ETC
Yes.
in 2004 or whatever.
Yes.
But Century is now trying to bring back that vibe with this coupe. Now, it's massive. It's also tall.
Hold on.
See that?
It's got a really cool party trick that we're waiting for. All these people here, some of the people are waiting for it to do something, and we will show it to you as soon as it does it, because it certainly does something unusual that I haven't seen a personal luxury coupe do. Now you can tell that in the front it does have a grills actually, so it feels like it's powered by internal combustion and not electricity. I'm going to go with like a 12-cylinder. If you're going to be, no, 8-cylinder.
I think probably they're using a twin turbo V6 in the other cars, so probably
Oh, God.
V6.
You can't sell this for $300,000 with a V6.
Not with that attitude.
No, not with any attitude. It's not going to sell. And the other unique thing about this, and you'll see it in a second, is that this is actually a 3-seater.
Yeah, right. So the passenger seat is in its own little cell, sort of, and then there's a driver and a seat behind the driver for the peasants who are operating the vehicle. But the passenger cell is bigger than even the most luxurious vans here in Japan, and the doors, we're still waiting for them to open, but they don't open like conventional doors. They don't open like suicide doors. They split in half, and the front portion slides forward, the rear portion slides rearward, and then it reveals the entire occupant area for getting in and out.
Feels like it's a Disney ride and you're waiting for the giant shark to come jumping out of the water, Tommy.
You know, one thing which is interesting is this is very clearly a sporty design, but it's also tall.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
kind of like an SUV coupe
Yeah,
thing.
but first of all, concept cars always have huge, narrow, big, Little rubber on the side, big wheels. So probably these are what, 23s, 24s.
Yeah.
This is not going to come on the real car. It would ride like a goat cart. Goat, not goat cart.
But or probably like a goat cart.
And then remember when the Jaguar came out a couple years ago, the Project 00, and people hated it, but it had this basic same kind of look to it. So it had a long hood and it had kind of a short cabin. This kind of follows that. Now people love it because it's not electric.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean by that is not that the wheels are big, but the ground clearance is big, right? This looks like you could take it down the Rubicon Trail. It's got so much ground clearance. Anyway, I think it's an interesting concept. The doors aren't doing their thing.
Yeah, word to the organizers here at Century. Guys, you may want to either leave them open or open them more often, but whatever timing is happening here is not working with us very well. Look at all these people waiting for the doors to open.
Yeah, everybody's waiting.
Everybody's waiting.
Dad, do you think there's a market for a $300,000 Japanese ultimate luxury car?
Sold through a Lexus dealership?
Well, you're really stuck on the Lexus dealer thing.
Yes, because
Lexus dealers are nice. They're at golf courses and they have service centers.
Yes, they're nice. They're very nice. They're about as nice as it gets. But when you're buying $400,000 or $500,000, which this very well could be, then you want an experience like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, right? Where it's
broken down.
You don't want to be there with the rest of the riffraff that are paying $80,000 to $120,000 for their cars, right?
Yeah, but look,
you want to be with your kind.
You're at the dealership for 4 hours every 10 years. So, why does it matter what the dealer experience
Because the
is?
dealers, even Lexus, even though they're great,
they never break. You're never there.
They're still like, hey, what can I do today to get you in this RX, right?
No, they'll build a little cabana next to the Lexus dealers. They'll line it in velour and gold, and then they'll sell Centuries.
And then they'll have special salespeople that will invite you in.
Exactly right. But I'm hoping that this is like a very bespoke concept, very bespoke design.
The other thing that Lexus doesn't do, which is a problem, is they don't do anything that's unique or orderable, right? You get what you get. And you were saying something when we drove here, that the Lexus that you buy here is almost identical to the one that you buy in America, no matter what the model, except for the steering wheel, right? They're on different sides of the car.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if, the money is made in these expensive cars with all the options, right? Think of Porsche paint to sample. Think of all of the upticks you could do when you're buying a Rolls Royce. You could put the Constellation in the roof, and that's where the real money is. And so, kind of a one size fits all. And their logo here is one of one, right? Which makes it seem like they should have something that is very much original to the owner.
Well, Toyota is pretty good at making money, so I bet they're considering all of these options. So you want to keep waiting here, or should we keep going?
I'm just disappointed that that this is not opening up, but we'll keep going, I guess. And we can run back here if the thing actually opens up.
Sure, the second we leave, it'll open up.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So what are some of your highlights here from...
Let's go this way. There's some vans we haven't looked at yet.
Vans?
Yeah, vans. If you want to see the interior, here's a way you can go look at it. Head on over to alltfl.com, where we did a video just on this vehicle on its own, and then you can see what the interior looks like, because the driver is definitely separated from the rest of the passengers too.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've got a bunch of shorts too if you don't have 15 minutes. 15 minutes to watch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's come on over here.
It's like the Bellagio, right? You got to wait for the fountains to...
It's definitely interesting though how popular vans are in Asia.
Yeah, let's look at these mobility vans.
Right, so we see these little concepts for upcoming futuristic vans that are built to hold a lot of stuff. You're still waiting for the doors to open.
I think the
there,
battery died.
Battery? What do you mean battery? It's plugged in.
You want to show them these little walkie things? Let's go to the front and let's show them the little walkie things.
Yeah, so the other thing that Toyota's been doing a lot of here at the Mobility Show are these little crab things, little wheelchair things, little ways to help people get around. And this is my favorite one, the car for toddlers. Did you see this thing?
No, let's see this little toddlers. Little cute car.
So they've I'm not sure what the market is for toddlers, if there's a lot of people that,
You have to have a toddler license to drive it?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of unfulfilled questions here, but this is the Toyota Kids Mobi, and the idea is you put your kid in there, and I don't know, what do you do? So
then what do you do?
Does the kid go to school in it?
I've been watching those shows, the Japanese shows, where they give money to the little toddler guy.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
There's this television show here where little tiny guys, like 5-year-old kids, go buy sushi for their family.
Okay.
So now instead of walking, they can get in this thing and they can drive autonomously
They're gonna get smushed.
to the little corner
It's 2.5 feet tall.
7-Eleven and buy sushi for the family.
This little bubble thing.
Yeah.
So here's some bicycles that Toyota has built. This is called the Land Hopper. You can see it's a little foldable bike. And then, you want to show them the stuff at the front?
Yeah, let's go to the front, and then we'll wrap this up.
Boy, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, I can keep going. Don't. Yeah, there's steps over here.
The interesting thing about the Japan Mobility Show is they don't have a lot of vehicles that, like that you said, you can just go out and buy. It's a lot of future-forward things, but there's very few actual production models. So Toyota and Lexus, they have an enormous lineup of cars here in Japan, and the only ones that you can get into are the Land Cruiser over there.
Oh, look, we have RAV4s here.
And then the RAV4s, yeah. So these are the 3 RAV4s for sale. The new RAV4. We've got, I think this one kind of looks like a Woodland. I wonder what it's called here. Should we see?
The Woodster.
No, it's not called the
Oh,
Woodster.
Adventure. They still call it it's right here, Tommy. They still call it the Adventure.
Oh,
So
interesting.
why do they change it to Woodman in America?
Woodland. Not Woodman.
Woodster.
Woodland.
Woodman.
So, yeah, look at that. It's still called the Adventure here. Very
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. So this is the new RAV4. We just did our first drive reviews of these over at TFLcar.com. So if you want to check those out, that's where you can go. We also have a Limited and then a GR Sport over there.
And then, of course, they have the Heritage
This
here.
is what I wanted to show.
These guys, yeah. They're, of course, not working either.
So this is a wheelchair concept, and then these little like pod things that can walk around. Yeah, these aren't working either. What the heck?
Yeah, and then that thing over there,
So
what looks like what are those called? The stand-up?
Segway.
Segway. Looks like a Segway you can sit on. They were actually showing film. Oh, here it goes. This thing's doing something.
I do appreciate that Toyota is embracing technology for folks that maybe have mobility challenges. I think that's cool.
Oh, I was saying that one looks like a Segway. They were actually playing tennis. So that's a way you can
These things were
play
playing tennis together?
No, the Segway thing was
Oh,
people
okay.
were sitting in there playing tennis. I
Yeah.
don't know how you pick up the ball, but oh, look, now it's doing something.
Oh, yeah, it's standing up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for these guys to stand up, though. Maybe these will stand up next.
These little spider things.
But our luck during this podcast has not been exactly
Stellar.
But so first the wheelchair did something, and now this thing's doing something. Now we need to get these guys to stand up and do something.
Oh, you see that? Wow, look at that thing go. It does like a full tilt thing.
Yeah, you can play tennis. You can serve.
What do you think of the idea of the Japan Mobility Show? It's a new thing. Mobility is the big word these
I
days.
hate mobility.
Why do you hate mobility? You like being stationary?
Because it's like handy-capable. It says to me, it's not about the stuff I love about cars. It's about, just movement versus like fun movement.
Yeah, but your chair doesn't move, and these are chairs that move.
Yeah.
So these are more exciting chairs.
The word is too utilitarian. It takes all the passion out of my hobby, which is, driving cool cars.
Well, they're not walking around.
No,
Should we
they're
show them
not.
their historics?
Yeah, let's go look at the last two, and we'll call it.
Oh, this is interesting.
What?
This is a Toyota AA.
1936.
Yeah, this is their first ever model. And you know what's interesting about this?
It was built during the war.
No, pre-war. Look at the name.
Toyota.
Toyota, exactly right.
Yeah.
I think this is the reproduction because there were none of these left, but then someone found one of these kind of abandoned in Siberia, and now Toyota's restoring.
Oh, restored it.
I think this was the reproduction one they built.
Oh, really?
If I remember right, they actually have one that they found that they're finally restoring back to original.
Well, there's a sign here, Tommy. I could read it. This is April 36 Toyota, first passenger model, the AA. And you're right. All steel body. Yeah. The
They only
price
built-
was set at 3,350 yen and delivered within Nagoya. Oh, sorry. I put my foot on the. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. I put my leg on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the thing about Japan. Rules are very ruly here.
1,400 of these were made.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we have it.
Yeah, and Toyota started out as a company that actually did fabrics.
Yeah, exactly right. This is a Toyota Loom from back
Yeah.
in the day.
Hey, maybe instead of yelling at me for putting my foot on there, they should get the Century to open up.
Well, yeah.
Just saying. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. If you're listening to this and you want to see some of these things, where should they go, Tommy?
Yeah, alltfl.com. That's the place to go.
We're a little jet lagged, so if I'm a little, I'm a little bit harsher today. It's just I've gone without sleep for the last 2 days, Tommy.
TFL.
We are TFL, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm a journalist from India. I watch your
Oh,
stuff.
thank
very
you.
nice.
Yeah,
We're
really
recording
appreciate
right
it.
now.
Yeah, we're
What's your
recording.
name?
My name is Tuhin.
Oh, very
Tuhin.
cool. What's your outlet called?
What's your outlet?
It's Overdrive. We're a magazine.
Oh,
network agency.
sweet.
Sweet.
Very
Well,
nice.
thank you for watching us. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good day.
What part of India?
I'm from Bombay.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I work in Bombay.
Yeah. All right.
That's
cool.
awesome. Well,
Cool.
enjoy. Yeah, thank you for coming by.
See
Yeah.
you later.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
Yep. As always, this is Roman
And Tommy,
saying head on over at alltfl.com for more news, views, and what, Tommy?
Real World Reviews.
Well, we're ending on a loom.
There you go.
TFL loom.